Hello everyone, welcome to the Captain's Videoweblog. We are Friday, November the 11th, 2016. Actually, we're Saturday. Pretty late in the morning. It's actually close to noon. So, why am I recording so late? Well, today it's not like yesterday where I, woke up in the middle of the night and then just was up. Though, it kinda is. Yesterday, so I went to I thought that I would go into my bed, after recording the video weblog and all that, and just would stay in my bed for the duration of the afternoon or something like that, because there was a match of football between France and Sweden, I think. Yeah, completely missed that because I didn't do that, and I actually went to sleep around 6 p.m., something like that. Yeah. I woke up at 11 p.m. and unlike another day of the week, which I cannot remember when it was, I, wasn't hungry, strangely enough, actually. Well, I was like, well, if I'm not hungry, I'm just gonna, do the big reset, force myself back to sleep, and it helped that I was kinda sleepy, so I just drifted to sleep, and I woke up at before 6 a.m. So I was like, that's disappointing, and I mean, it really is. When you think of a Saturday morning, you don't think of all the stuff I will do. You just think of, oh boy, I just want to stay in my bed until 10 a.m. Except I wasn't tired anymore, so 10 a.m. was kind of, a fantasy. Just staying on my back for 4 more hours. It wouldn't be the first time I did that, nor would it be the last time I'm gonna do that, because, I mean, it's just gonna happen. But this time it just felt very wrong, so I didn't do that. I actually stepped out of my bed around 8:45. So yeah, halfway through. What a lot of bullshit that actually is. So I cannot talk about the match between France and Sweden, which is, well, I mean, it's kind of disappointing, because that would have been most of what I would have talked about, actually. I find myself with nothing to talk about, because, well, I mean, the round of 16 of the Autumn Valley Cup is starting in like 6 hours and a half, depending on who streams. I think it's gonna be Lear. Oh boy, that's just gonna be cool. Or Pavel. Maybe it's gonna be Sue again. I don't know. What's gonna be? A little bit of surprise in your life. You'll like it. But yeah, basically, the thing is, I have nothing to do, and I do not like it at all. Like, find yourself something to do. The only things I have to do is read all those manga I've had waiting for the better part of the year, actually. Like Area 51. I bought the first 4 volumes, I think, and because there was the place where I usually buy my manga, where like volumes 1 through 4, and then it wasn't the 5th, but it was the 6th volume, and I was like, I'm not falling for that. So yeah, I also wanted to buy something called Arachnid, which I mean, it looked weird. And they said that there was the thread last week about coming a kill with people complaining about Zero not being over yet, despite the fact that the main story is going to be over in 2 chapters. And people talked about Arachnid and about the spin-off story that's still not over, despite the fact that Arachnid is apparently over, and there was some unflavory scenes. So I'm really on the fence about not buying it. some things I also want to buy, like Ghost in the Shell, the manga, because the DVD of the anime, it's ran out. You know, they're out of stock, and I think that the licensing company got bankrupt at one point, or just disappeared. And that's all very disappointing. There's all sorts of stuff. You know, France is like the second worldwide manga market, so the first outside of Japan, which is actually pretty interesting considering that there's the USA. You know, the place where you would think that the biggest sales of manga outside, and maybe even counting Japan, would be, though Japan, you know, they are the place where it's born, so maybe not, but still, well, apparently in France there are more series and more sales of manga, so that's, I mean, silver linings, but the problem is, like, some old series that were really cool and that got, well, out of print a long time ago, won't ever be re-edited because of the publishing companies just running out of business. Like there was Old Boy that has been published around 2007, and the company got bankrupt in 2008 or something like that. And it's probably very, you know, it's one of those series where you would think that with the cult status it's gotten, especially since the Korean movie, because the American movie not that good, you would think that they would try to go all out with that. I mean, when Edge of Tomorrow, you know, Live, Die, Repeat, got in theaters, it was when the French publishers decided to pick up not only the manga but also the light novel. Like, light novels are starting to get published over here with Spice and Wolf and I think Danmachi and Log Horizon 2. Is ReZero going to be published as the light novel or as a manga? I'm not too sure. You know, there were lots of announcements about light novels starting to get published in France, and I find it very disappointing that some series, some big series, aren't getting published over here, like the Index series. Like, it's one of the staples of the light novel universe, and well, I mean, it's only got the manga here, which is pretty disappointing. Actually, the manga doesn't add anything. They don't even publish Railgun. So there's that. And yeah, concerning manga series that aren't manga and anime that aren't getting a new release, there's like Gundam, not Gundam, Gundam. That's been published when they still published the mangas with the Western reading structure. So they just flipped the pages, and here you go, which was probably too much work, you know, you'd think. So yeah, I mean, all in all, pretty disappointing, because Gundam Last Order has been, you know, they're still publishing it. Well, they're still printing out volumes, and there's the new series, Mars Chronicles, I think, that are starting to get published. And you would think that with that they would reprint the original series in the right reading order, but no. And well, I mean, just that kind of stuff. I'm talking about all that because I really don't have anything to say. Like, since last year, you know, last year I was talking about the licensing companies and who weren't too keen on picking up old licenses, old franchises, and well, turns out that since then there's actually been Anohana that's been licensed over here, and Steins Gate, probably because Occultic 9 is currently airing. but I wouldn't be too sure about that. You know, that's probably that's the most likely. You know, Occultic 9 has been picked up by one company, but Steins Gate has been picked up by another company, so I'm not convinced. Though they are the one who had chaotic notes, robotic notes. So maybe, I don't know. I mean, a lot of stuff has evolved. We even have drifters in that's airing in the dub is airing like one day after the Japanese release of the episodes. So that's pretty much, you know, the simulcast as Funimation tends to do. So yeah, I really don't know. Maybe that's, you know, it's so weird to me that their main concern about making a simulcast dub of Drifters is that, yeah, I know that a lot of people are watching subbed anime, but the most are liking their dubs, and I'm like, yeah, but you're still airing it on a channel that's you know, for whose main demographic are the weebs, so they are going to watch with subs. You know, this kind of things that happen. Maybe if you had a deal with an actual channel, maybe it would work better. So anyway, nothing to talk about really today. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Bye bye. I will talk about France versus Sweden tomorrow. Hopefully.